to introduce to you the man of the hour,
Tony.
Hello, and I am back from my long hiatus. This is At the Gates. I am your host, Tony, and with me today is Jared. Jared, and where are you from?
You got to do that like it's a voicemail.
Okay.
Awkward.
And leave your message at the beep. Beep.
This is Jared. I'm waiting to be on this At the Gates podcast. When are we going to do this thing, man? We traveled all the way to Atlanta just to do this? Really?
Oh, hey, Jared. I just missed you. Yeah, I'm at the Gates at Atlanta, at Turner Field, at Gates. I don't know. It's on the side gates in let's see, left field, kind of in the corner. So that's where we are today. It's nice and roasty and sunny and humid. And for two uber white guys from the north, we're melting. So this episode is going to be nice and short today. We don't have a lot planned. I didn't do any planning. This is game 2 of the series, and also game 2 for us for this series. And for me personally, this is game 4 of the Twins versus Braves in 2016. So I will have seen them all. Yesterday, I ended the day with 8, including one of the commemorative baseballs, so I was pretty stoked. And we also got to do the VIP experience, which was all right. It was pretty sweet. The tour guide, Jerry, was very knowledgeable and very helpful and kind of a cool dude. Your typical kind of older guy that's been retired and just knows a lot about baseball, happy to share it, and really eager when someone else expresses a love for the game that he loves. So, Jared, what have you noticed about the similarities and differences between this and Target Field?
I don't know. It's got a seating bowl, and people sit in the chairs. And
is it outdoors?
It's outdoors. They have a canopy. That's pretty much it.
So would you rate it ahead or below Target Field?
I think in its time, they'd pretty well match up. I think Target Field takes the cake right now just because it's newer and fits more of the amenities that people are looking for in today's baseball market.
Is it also fair to say that it's maybe ahead because it's not going to be demolished
in 6 months? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's really sad and ridiculous that the stadium is going to be gone because, quite honestly, it looks fine.
I don't think it's aged. It's aged okay. I mean, I feel like when we went to Kauffman, Kauffman's aged a little bit better.
I would agree, but Kauffman also had those upgrades done in the 90s. So I think that they could have done a lot of upgrades here and made it into something pretty sweet. But at the same time, for what it was, and that's an Olympic stadium, it looks like a baseball stadium. I mean, it feels like one. It looks like one. They did a really good job, and quite honestly,
you definitely don't. It's not like the Metrodome where you're trying to cross different platforms in baseball and football and basketball and whatever. It definitely does not feel like it was an Olympic stadium at any time.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they got some use out of it because a lot of Olympic stadiums don't get use, but at the same time, it's I don't know. It seemed like it was like, hey, we'll take this, and that was part of the promise that they were going to use this, but then they really didn't get a lot of use out of it, and I don't know. Especially when we've talked to Jerry, it sounds like especially the transportation to the new stadium is going to be
brutal.
Yeah, just ridiculous. I think that's sad because right now with baseball, it needs to be accessible, and we saw here last night that there were under 10,000 people in the stadium, so their team isn't going to be much better next year. I know that new stadiums draw more, but if you want to sustain that, you're going to have a good team, and if you don't, you're going to have to make it at least accessible. And if you eliminate both of those, you're going to have an empty new stadium, kind of like the Miami Marlins, personally. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We got maybe about a minute before they let the regular folk in like us. And
talk about the tour in the stadium?
I think what I'm going to tease people about is we've got a video cooking, so we're going to be uploading that sometime. So look out for that. I'll put links out there for everyone. But it's basically going to chronicle our adventure here, the vacation that we did. It will be mainly baseball, but then there's going to be a lot of other stuff kind of sprinkled around that we saw here. It's been fun. So, is there anything else that you want to say?
I say the trip to Atlanta is worth it. Do the City Pass stuff, catch a couple baseball games, experience the city. People probably have this bad outlook on the city, but we found a lot of really great places that are in some areas that might be seemingly rough and tumble or whatever, but for the most part everybody's been really great to us. That Southern hospitality thing is real, and we've experienced it, and I say it's worth the trip for sure.
And it's also, especially during August, it's really going to be cheap. It's kind of nice because we did a package through Southwest, and it was about $400 for both of us for the flight and then 3 nights stay. So it's definitely worth it. And then everything else that you can do around the city, for the most part, with that City Pass, is really within just a couple blocks. So it's once you get there, you can basically walk around and knock out a lot of things. So like Jared said, view things, spend local. There's a lot of cool local things, and just try Atlanta. It's sweaty, but it's fun. This episode was brought to you by a few sponsors, kind of. Yesterday, I was wearing the shirt of Mill City Sound. They are a record store up in Minneapolis. Check them out. Got a free shirt from them, so I want to say hello and thank you. So it's kind of an official sponsor. And then the other one is the Herbivorous Butcher. I know that I've plugged them before, but I am wearing their shirt right now and hopefully catching more baseballs with it. So I will see you in the park. And as always, have a very, very wonderful day.